YouTube. It looks like we've got another package in the mail today. A couple of new turn signals. We're finally going to replace the stock pumpkin lights with some new Rizoma LED turn signals. We've got a wiring harness to make it a complete plug-and-play installation, and some adapters. Okay, we've also got from TST Industries an LED flasher relay so that we can adjust blink rate of the turn signals. So a little bit about these turn signals. So they offer these in 3 different versions. One is a amber turn signal indicator. They make this one, which has a white running light with an amber turn indicator. And then they also make one that works on the rear, which has a tail light and an amber turn indicator. So they are very bright, and they definitely look a lot better than the stock ones. So let's go ahead and get these things installed. So let's see here, this is the stock signal, and this is the LED. As you can see, it is quite a bit smaller. So let's check out the brightness compared to the stock one. So here is the stock signal. Alright, so the Rizoma LED is going to look like this. Alright, pretty excited to get these on. Let's go ahead and get it started. So the first step is to remove this entire radiator side panel. That's the bracket that the light is mounted onto. We're going to use a 4mm Allen on a ratchet. And there's a second one down here right below the signal. Okay, so you have the 2 bolts out. That just comes right off the front. Once the outside covering is removed, we have 2 10mm bolts that we need to remove. Here's a T-handle. Now we have access to the bracket that holds the turn signal on. There's a little plastic retainer on the inside that we pull out, and we can just twist, there we go, twist the signal, and it'll free up. The next thing we're going to need to do is find the plug-in under the side cover. So we'll remove Allen bolt, same 4mm that we used previously. On the inside of the side cover, there are 2 push pins that we need to remove, one up here, one down here. We'll take a screwdriver to push those in and release it. Once you have those removed, the entire piece is held on with some rubber grommets, and it just pulls straight out. Now that we have the cover removed, you can see that the wire goes in, it comes up and around. And this is the actual plug that we need to remove. That just snaps in. We'll get it out. It has a small retainer that we need to pry up on and unplug. We're going to pull this through, just like that. It's going to fold around, and there we go. So we just pull this small retainer that holds it on here. Pushed it in from the back side so that we can remove that, and then we can pull the wire through, and now we are ready to install the new one. We're going to take our adapters, we're going to open those up. You first need to slide one of these adapters onto the wire. Slide everything through. On the back side is where the second adapter will go. And then you will take the washer, slide it through. Slide that down. That goes in there. And then we'll put the nut. Again. Then we're going to tighten that onto the stem. Now this is where you need to concentrate on centering the adapter plate. You just want to make sure that it follows the contour of the bracket. So you'll put it on the bike and make sure that the signal is pointing in the right direction, kind of straight out. That looks good. We'll go ahead and put a wrench on the back side. It's going to be a 12mm wrench. We'll put that here. And just have to be careful not that the indicator doesn't turn when you turn the wrench. That looks pretty good. Okay, so lastly, there's a small rubber boot here that's going to slide down the wire and cover up the nut. Put everything on, we'll put the little clip back on. This is what it looks like with the sleeve on the back side of the nut. It's pretty secure there, and we're ready to bolt everything back on. So one of the trickiest things is going to be just sliding this cable back around the inside, and then we'll hook up our wire adapter. Go ahead and put our bolts right here to hold this in place. Just kind of get them started in there. Alright, now we have the wires running back here. I will go ahead and hook these into here. Alright, so color wise, the black wire from the signal will go to the red wire from the harness. The red wire from the signal will go to the black and white wire from the harness. And the white wire from the signal will go to the solid black wire on the harness. Now it's blinking a little bit fast right now because we haven't added the relay in. We just want to confirm the wiring to make sure everything is correct before we put it back together. Alright, so now that we have that, I'm going to put some electrical tape around the wire harness itself where everything plugs in together. That way this can't come undone, and then we'll snap everything back. Once we have it all put back in, I'm going to put a zip tie around the wires here where the factory harness is. That way it'll hold this from moving around too much. Have everything snapped back in. It's just a matter of getting it back tight again. Put my bracket back on. Nice and snug. Put this back here. And then we just put our Allen bolts back in. We're looking at much the same thing on this side. We're going to remove the side panel here. You can see here on the right side of the bike, it's going to look a little bit different. The wire does run still behind the panel, but the plug is actually, if you can see it up here, it's up higher. This is it here. It runs up on the inside on that little clip right there. So we'll get this panel off and do the same thing that we did on the other side and swap this out. I want to show you a couple of things. Those little pins on the inside that we had to remove in order to get the panels out. I just want to show you a little bit more about how they work. When they're installed on the bike, they look like this. This is the inside. You can see that there. To remove them, you take a small screwdriver or something to just press in the center. When you do that, it allows it to open up so that you can slide the pin out. To install them, you have to push the pin all the way in, so that it's in this configuration here, and then once you have it into the hole where it mounts, you press the center back and make it flush, and that's how it mounts. That's that. Alright, so now we're going to install the new signals on our side panel for the right side of the bike. Everything is now installed. So the only thing we have left to do is put in our relay lights. But when we put our turn signal, as you can see, we get what they call a hyper flash. So to correct that, we're going to put a TST Industries Flasher relay, install it on the bike underneath the seat, and that's going to correct that and bring it down to the standard speed. So this is going to be one of the easiest things that you can install. It's going to go underneath the seat. Put this back, and then we can find our stock relay. It's located here. We're just going to remove this one, replace it with the TST relay. It's also adjustable. There's a small dial on the top that we can adjust it so we can change the rate of the flash. What we're going to do is grab the relay, pull it back until we get it out of the grommet here, and then we need to press this down, unplug it. That's how we do it. Remove the stock one, take the new one out of the bag. Plug it in like so. This gray cover here comes off. You can see there's a couple of little deals that hold it in. So you slide the cover off and there's something on the inside that you can use to turn it. So put our key back in. And then now, let's give our turn signal a try. That's perfect. Alright, that is the other way. Alright, one more try here. Looks good. Those are the Rizoma turn signals. I believe the model on that one is an FR121, which has the white driving light. And our flasher relay, which we can now reattach. That is it. If you find any use out of this video, please hit the like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. We will soon be adding an integrated rear tail light and some other goodies soon. Thanks for watching.